Aloha my kako. This is Oracle of the Golden Spiral. Today we're going to be taking a look at the journey to your soulmate. This may give you some insight as to where you are on your journey and what's next. Sometimes when we're more sure of what lies ahead, we can make better decisions to move through those spaces, challenges, lessons, whatever you want to call them, more quickly. But what's more important, we can move through those spaces more confidently, which I definitely struggle with myself. So this is a timeless pick a card reading. Therefore, the message is for you whenever it finds you. But let's get into it, shall we? So your choices today are the Linestrider Tarot with the Rhodochrosite Heart, the Light Seers Tarot with the Larimar Moon. We're going to do 1, 2, and then 3 is a Healing Light Tarot with the Clear Quartz Crystal. Okay? So take a moment to choose your deck options, and I'll just go through the additional oracle that I've already pre-selected. So that is going to be the Magical Times, Empowerment, Hero's Journey, Priestess of Light Oracle, and the Enchanted Map. Well, you get a preview. So if you chose number 1, we have 2 of these. So if you chose deck number 1, after I move these out of the way, your reading will start then. Okay. Hi, if you've selected deck number 1, that was a Linestrider Tarot with the Rhodochrosite Heart. These are your oracle cards. So we have Sanctuary. Embrace the need for solitude. Your inner sanctuary calls you. Renew yourself and thrive. We have Divine Drunkenness. 45, surrender to your spiritual reverie. Wisdom, number 29, wisdom, learning, joy, art, music. And let's see, I guess we can put it there. Into the unknown, number 7, and number 39, protecting treasure. Okay. Let's go ahead and get your tarot. Supportive tarot, please. Whoa, we're very excited. That's too many. Thanks so much, but that's just too many. This one flipped over, so I'm going to keep that. For those who chose deck number 1, please. Wow. Okay, guys. Very excited about something. The Hangman, the Tower. One more, please. One more for deck number 1. Those who chose deck number 1. Journey to their soulmate. Please tell us about the journey to their soulmate. Okay. Okay, if you chose deck number 1, I'm just gonna, some people don't like to wait around for the shuffling, so let's go ahead and start from here for the people who just want to talk about the cards. Sanctuary, embracing the need for solitude. Your inner sanctuary calls you. Renew yourself and thrive. Number 45, divine drunkenness. Surrender to your spiritual reverie. Number 29, wisdom. Learning, joy, art, music. 7, into the unknown. 39, protecting treasure. Knight of Cups, the Hangman, the Tower, and the 2 of Cups. Okay, if you chose deck number 1, the journey to your soulmate has brought you to a place where you are actually elevating. We see that you've been able to give. In prior relationships, you've been able to give. You have what it takes to go ahead and to openly engage and give with someone on that level. This may or may not have been reciprocated in the past, it definitely wasn't reciprocated to the level that you're able to give. Let's see. So there may have been a time and space where you really took a look at why, if you are, engaging with the world that way, why that wasn't necessarily what you saw coming to you. And so that has kind of put you may have gone through a somewhat of a crisis of conscience during that time, but this is because you are actually elevating, and the next, you're entering into a new phase on your journey. And so that you may be like, this energy right here really talks about this as well, which is this sort of disorientation that you're going through. And that's because the you were is really disappearing, and now you are being, it's like this new phase creates room for you to explore like all the possibilities of who you actually can become. So there is this, from this energy here, I'm getting this disorientation effect, and it may be because we are, like, sanctuary really speaks to being in the now and enjoying and understanding the beauty in where we are at that moment. It's when we have that ability to let go of the past and not depend too much on the future. And so that, pulling all of that together, there's kind of like this divine moment where you have gained wisdom from what you've been through, but still at this time are entering into a new phase, or like unknown territory, where you are going to be able to really build and create this brand new you and a brand new outlook on your life and where you're going. And the best way to do that is to how do I put this? Is to be in the now, to kind of build that internally, knowing that you've learned so much, but also being able to walk away from the past, those things which cause confusion and that we may or may not ever understand. There's another factor to this too, because with protecting treasure, and as we go into the unknown, we're protecting the things we have built. Like, some things we may want to leave in the past. Some things were definitely not great, or lessons and things of that nature, but we also have things that we've built or things that we've accomplished that, we want to take with us. And if we move into the future, I'm getting this energy of like, as we move into the future, we don't want to lose that. And so it's really about that energy, right, is bridging the old but the new, and the where we've come from and what we want to take with us and where we're going. But what it's asking you to do is surrender all of that. Know that you're inherent in this is knowing that all of this treasure doesn't need your protecting. It will be protected. If it's meant to go with you into the future, it will, right? We can only do so much. There's a certain level of impermanence that we need to get good with. But as all things change, as you are now on your journey, this may change a little bit. All the things that you're protecting or that you want to take with you may in fact change along with you, but there will be change for the good, change for growth. And so trusting that is incredibly important. On your journey, we're taking a look at the now, trying to focus on what it is that we're creating. What does this new phase look like? Because there is an energy, I'm getting an energy of elevating to like an additional level. In fact, I think one of these cards, I'm not sure, I think it's this one. It's gotta be this one. Surrender to your spiritual reverie. It's like, it talks about apotheosis, like just like divine oblivion, because we're reaching a new level. So in that elevation, it's funny because it's creating this energy like the tower is juxtaposed to this elevation, but we get here by going through this and being able to see it in a whole new way. So I believe pile number one, deck number one, you're being asked to move into this new phase with what you know, but to really live in the current, letting go of the past, and also not projecting too far into the future. As you move through this space, you're gonna gain additional wisdom, and this really talks about the learning that you'll do during this time, which really has to do with building a new you. This is where gaining that information, your mind starts feeding your heart, and we get a better sense of who we are. And as we take that step one by one by one, I believe that you will end up, once we are assured of who we are, whether this is just the first step to that or whether this is the last step before finding your soulmate. So trust this new phase, embrace your courage, and have the confidence to know that even though you are stepping into the unknown, it's kind of like the moon, right? Even though you're stepping into the unknown, know where you are right now. And as you step out into the things that maybe are frightening, maybe are challenges for you, taking with you your wisdom, and trusting yourself in knowing that you'll be able to conquer these challenges, maybe in surprising ways for yourself. And in that, you will be developing, this is, a great energy to have, but you'll be developing that further, and really defining who you are so that you will know when you meet someone where your cups match. Yep, pile one, deck number one. I think that's what I have for you. I wish you all the best. If you found that you resonated with this, please hit the subscribe button, and you can always contact me if you have any questions or need anything. All right, thank you so much for your time. I'm gonna pull this back and we're gonna move on to pile number two, deck number two. Okay, if you chose deck number two, that is going to be the Larimar Moon. Let's go ahead and get this out for you. So you have faith, believe that you are not alone, spirit is right beside you, ask for guidance and it will come. Number four, the return, own your mastery. You have another one of these. Let's see if I can move this over. Number 19, North Star. Flip your inner light switch. Oh, I see where this is going. This is number 21, Guide the Illuminated Path. And number 5, Goblins. Okay. Let's get your tarot. This is one of my favorite decks here. Like, it's just so amazing. Okay. All right, what do we have for those who chose pile number 2? Pile number 2, please. Please tell us about the journey to their soulmate. Oh. Sorry about that. All right. Pile number 2, what can you tell us for pile number 2? Those who chose pile number 2. What is on their journey and what is next? That way they can make better decisions and move more confidently through that space. Tell us about the journey to their soulmate. Okay, if you chose deck number 2, it's, you don't want to talk as much as deck number 1. One more, please. One more, please. Those who chose, okay, 2 more is fine. Oh, look at this. Let's cover up some goblins. I'll take it away later. Okay, let's cover up some of this too. Okay, if you chose deck number 2, let's go over this again. You have faith. Believe you are not alone. Spirit is right beside you. Ask for guidance and it will come. Number 4, the return. Own your mastery. Number 19, North Star. Flip your inner light switch. Number 21, the guide, the illuminated path. Number 5, goblins. The King of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the 5 of Cups, the 10 of Cups. We're multiplying that exponentially there. And, well, not exponentially if you're a math person, but figuratively. And then also the Star. Okay. If you chose deck number 2, really what this all boils down to is trust yourself. Be confident. This is gonna be what helps you on your journey to finding your soulmate. Okay? It's about taking, leaps of faith and finding your wings, but a lot has to do with the fact that you have reached a level of mastery. You have moved from the novice to the wise, and maybe in your life you have also returned to that spot, that space where you are sharing that wisdom with others. The return, it's, in case you guys are not familiar with this deck, it says the return, own your mastery. And so it seems quite confusing because of, it's like, what is that? It was one of the first ones I ever read about because I'm like, some of them are very intuitive, right? And this one I was just like, wait, what? So it's really about going back to where you were after a stage of growth, and taking a look at it and being able to see how much you have grown and how far you've come from where you were. But it also talks about even more than that in some cases. It's like, there's a quote, what is it? I think it's even in that book, that talks about coming back to some place is not the same thing as never leaving. And so we've gone off on some journey, gained some wisdom. You know, we know where we've gained inner guidance. We've gained inner light as to who we are as a person by experiencing all these things, and gaining wisdom and knowledge. And then when we return, it actually isn't just beautiful in that sense by where we can see our growth, but also in the fact that you may actually have had the opportunity, especially with these cards here, you may have had the opportunity to share that with others. And that's actually where that spark, that beauty reaches out into other parts of the world, because it alters anyone, it alters all those who hear you, right, while you're sharing. It alters anyone who is touched by this growth that you have had. In such a beautiful way. Like, it's very difficult for me to explain it, and to explain that feeling. But it definitely is more like to this, and like all this energy versus this energy. But the fact that this is here front and center, and that I want to cover it up, means that we have come from a place where our energy has been sucked away by some experience, by maybe a pairing that we thought really was something that matched us, right? With all the wisdom and everything. Even maybe some of our guidance told us this was a great match. This was it. And somehow along the way, this still ended up happening. And so I think that what we're seeing here is goblins. What are goblins? Goblins are created when we go ahead and have an experience that they're born from, right? There's a reader that I absolutely love. She's no longer on YouTube, but I think she's still on Odyssey or Library. I watch her. I watch your main messages, Jay. She always talks about, with all the additional messages, she's like, if you haven't watched the main message, you're really missing out. So I would like to say to Jay in the UK, Aquarian Insight, I watch your main messages. And she talks about when someone throws salt at us, it doesn't bother us unless we have an open wound that salt gets into. And really, that says more about, well, it says a lot about them that they're even throwing salt, but it says a lot about us. And we can sort of, in like a really twisted way, be grateful for that, because it points out to us where we've created these wounds, these goblins that really don't serve us, because they're going ahead and they're deleterious to us in the way of, low self-worth, or self-sabotage. This is self-sabotage. This is us allowing somebody to take us into that self-sabotage. And, for those of you who chose deck number 2, I guess your journey to your soulmate also includes understanding that everybody has these feelings. Everybody, because of their goblins, are able to be sucked down by people that we may have felt a great connection to people that we really at one point did connect with. But maybe we're moving on, or maybe we've adjusted. Maybe, the return lends to change. Maybe we're changing. Maybe we are having faith in that which we are becoming, in what we are deciding are our North Stars, right? Like how do I put it? clarity we've gained on who we truly are as people. But really, everybody has the ability, everybody has these things, everybody works through these things, and knowing that you're not alone in that, and being able to have faith that you create your path, and that these are just speed bumps along the way, where we get a stronger sense of who we are, and where we learn so that we can develop and gain that self-worth, that confidence. We need to know who we are, then we need to see that reflected back to us. Well, we don't need to see it, but it always helps to see that reflected back to us. But having that self-confidence, knowing that we can make it no matter what. So your path to your soulmate is really about trusting yourself, maximizing this feeling, trusting you, and minimizing this feeling, so that you inevitably will know what you're wishing for, but also that it will come to be. So as soon as we can, we don't ever want to, I'm joking when I say let's cover them up, but we don't cover it up, we deal with these things. If we can actually fix that wound, then when someone throws salt at us, we don't have a problem with it. We just know that that is their problem. And so this is the next step on your journey. And if you have not experienced this, which I talked about in the beginning, you will right before you meet your soulmate. And that will change so much more for everyone. There's like a teaching, there's like a faith and a teaching aspect to this in many ways. Right? He's also the self-made man. Self-made man, confidence. And there's almost like sharing in that. And seeing that change in other people reflected back to you only seek to solidify those things. Through that, we may be able to, to mitigate some of and heal some of our wounds, but also facing them head on. Facing them head on with that confidence that we are amazing and that we deserve all of our dreams to come true. Do I have anything else to say about that? I do want to say that trust yourself has a lot to do with, you have the answers. You don't create like this out of nothing. If you chose deck number 2, you have a connection. You have a very great connection with Spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, whatever name you assign to it, whatever you want to say that it is. But you have a connection with that. And so it's almost as if it's like you have the answers before you even ask the questions. And it's about trusting that in yourself. And the only reason we don't do that is because of this. Okay, I think that's all I have. But thank you so much. Deck number 2. If you found that you resonated with this, please subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you. And hope I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. And thanks so much for your time and for sharing your energy. I'm going to pull this back and we're going to move on to pile deck number 3. Okay, if you chose deck number 3, give me 2 seconds and I will be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I know it wasn't that long, but I mean, the video itself wasn't that long. I am not the best at editing, so we're not going to edit that out, but I will go ahead and put all the timestamps in here as usual. So if you chose deck number 3, that is the Clear Quartz Heart. And here are your oracle cards. Union. You have seen and unseen allies. Draw upon their strength. Join forces with friends and flourish. 25. Whale of a time. Your charge is to enlarge. Oh, I remember this one. Okay. This is 24. Adjustment. Looking back. Moving forward. Oh, we have kind of like a connection with deck number 1. And then 47, Sacred Pool. I hope you guys can see this, yeah. 47, Sacred Pool. For those who chose deck number 3, please tell us about their journey to their soulmate. Please tell me what is next on their journey to their soulmate. King of Pentacles, 10 of Wands. Oh, okay, I see. Let's see what else comes out. Journey, deck number 3, those who chose deck number 3, what is next on their journey to their soulmate? Please tell us. Please tell us what lies ahead, so they can make better decisions moving through those spaces. Please give them what they need to be more confident in their space. Go through this next part of the journey. Oh no, I think I just wrecked that. Those who chose deck number 3, can we get a couple more cards, please? Last shuffle, then I take from the top and bottom. You know what? You have 2 cards. I'll take from the top, middle, and bottom. Okay. Oh, this is the last shuffle. No, one more? Okay. Sorry. One more. I'll take from the top and middle. Or just the top. Knight of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune. And hopefully you guys can, actually, you know what, we'll just take this one. Oh, look at that. Okay. So I will just go over all of this again for those of you who just want to start your video here. This is for deck number 3 with the Clear Quartz Heart. Union. You have seen and unseen allies. Draw upon their strength. Join forces with friends and flourish. Number 25, Whale of a Time. Your charge is to enlarge. Number 24, adjustment, looking back, moving forward. Number 47, sacred pool. King of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, and the 2 of Cups. Okay. Let's see. If I was going to give this, well, we'll wrap it up at the end. Let's start here with union, right? This is about speaking worth to yourself, right? Speaking worth to yourself and to others. And when that comes back to you, you're going to be able to, really accepting it, right? Sometimes we can give. It seems like maybe you do a lot of giving. Maybe sometimes we can give a lot and we're not able to receive back. Maybe we do that with other realms like work or, tangible things, but it's asking us to engage with that with people, to have a sense of being able to receive from others, and understanding that can also give you value and worth, not just the tangible things that we break our backs to create. In this space that you're moving into, the next space you're moving on to in your journey to your soulmate, it may seem different and scary, and you may not understand why you keep being presented with things that engender fear in you, and that is because those situations, those engagements keep presenting to you because in what you fear to engage with, right? Like the deep blue ocean holds what you're looking for. So that treasure is hidden within that space that you're afraid to move into. So this has a very moon card feeling, same with like the emotions and that type of thing. And what it's asking you to do is to move beyond comfort spaces that you've already been in. This actually talks about most all of this. You can incorporate these two, but this all sort of says the same thing, which is if we had to tie it all in together, it would be you're being asked to leave a comfort zone, to go somewhere, which probably has to do with emotions, to change that and to move into spaces that you may not have ever been that comfortable with, and that now is your next challenge, right? Let's see. So something that we haven't pointed out yet is that need for adjustment, right? The connective energy right here is that something needs to change to be able to move forward. What are we gleaning from the things in the past, right? We're moving from this place. It's kind of like, we've already been through what pile number 1 has been through, but now that we've done that we've, elevated into that space, now it's asking us to incorporate all the things we fear. We know who we've become, but it's almost as if we're holding too tightly to that. And now the universe is asking you to change that dynamic, to incorporate change, to let go of some of the more solid, tangible things, and to really, in this sense, incorporate an emotional experience into it. We've had passion, but to carry this load to become this. And in letting go of that, we're going to be able to, while slowly, start. It's like you've started this experience in moving into this realm, but it's gonna start picking up the more and more that you exhibit a willingness to engage in this space. It feels to me like we've put our toe, energy here feels to me like we've put our toe in the sacred pool, but we're not quite there yet. We are aware and we're diving into our emotions, but we haven't yet taken that energy out into the world. And Sacred Pool asks you, if you meet the world with that love and genuine emotion, it grows. And again, like when we were talking about this, right? I said earlier that with this, when you speak your self-worth to yourself, and when you just let people know how you appreciate them, that energy creates something in them and they reciprocate that back. And so it's almost like this is what we're doing to create this, to asking you to step out into that world and to communicate your emotions with people. Let people know how you feel about them. Everyone, not just not just like a partner that you want to have, but practice it with like your sister, your brother, if you don't have those or one of those, your friends, parents, whatever it is. Try it. Tell someone you appreciate them and why, just out of the blue. And what you'll see is you may not have like a full-on conversation at that time, but how that energy comes back to you, just watch that. And that's what your next journey is on this path. It's going to help you know where you've come from, see change, and then incorporate that more and more as you move forward. And it will develop, and like I said, the energy will start to move quicker all the way until you and another person are able to meet each other in that way, right? The Two of Cups is when our cups match. What do we love? What matters to us? What it's not the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is like way too much than we can handle. When we're in a place where all we want is the what was that? Oh my god, I'm dating myself. But like DuckTales? Is it DuckTales where he had like the Scrooge McDuck had the vault with like where they would dive into all the coins? Like if we're there, if you're too young for that, I'm super sorry. But this surrounding ourselves with all of that, diving into, I'm sure you can imagine diving into a pile of coins, which isn't, I don't think, physically actually possible. But it's the Two of Cups for a reason, because it is about emotions, not the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is like having way too much going on. So juggling beyond our control, right? So that's not here, it's not present. I'm just bringing it up to draw attention to the fact that we're being asked to step into this pool, so that we are able, when that amazing person shows up, that we're able to meet them in that way, right? let's hope they've watched one of these as well, so that they are able to meet you in that way. What a tragedy it would be if, you know, you meet an amazing person and you just are not, you may be emotionally available, but maybe not enough to be able to feel comfortable. Maybe the fear is too great. And so I've seen situations in my life and around me where that can be the case, and something that has the potential to be so beautiful. You know, everybody's just not where they need to meet up. But I think that you will, this is what's next on your journey. You're going to make the adjustments. You know, it'll be some work at first. It'll move slowly, but once spirit, the universe sees that you are willing to put in that energy and that effort, and you're making gains, and you're stepping into things that seem scary, to extend yourself and your emotions in that way, that wheel will just start spinning, and you will be able to find your soulmate. Is that all I have? Let's see. I do want to say one more thing. Besides wrapping this up as you need to leave your comfort zone, that's what's next on your journey and your next challenge, and the next space that you're going to be in. I will say that the more there's still like an element of control to the Knight of Pentacles, but as you move through this and as you start to go with the flow, yeah, I do want to say go with the flow is your power, and that is what is going to help that wheel move. Yeah. All right. Deck number 3, that is what I have for you. If you found that you resonated with this, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you. Thank you for sharing your energy and your time with me. And if you made it this far, if you have any questions or you need anything, my email is in the description box. And with that, I will say, as usual, mahalo.